that those numbers are definitely growing and being more active with fights.
I would just add, Andres, and I think you would agree with me on this. You know, the best fighting the best is key, and we saw a lot of that tonight. I mean, all three of these women, every woman on the card took on a very tough challenge, fights that literally could have gone either way on paper. And you know, if women are fighters in general willing to step up, I think people are going to support that, and they're going to be entertained too.
This question is for the three ladies. Rodrigo Teroico, Bonita Radio, Puerto Rico. This is was a big event in the Mecca of boxing. I just want to ask you how enthusiastic you are to be part of this women movement from now as young competitors, and how you feel when you got into the arena and saw the crowd.
Tam, you can go first. You fought first.
I guess I'll go first. Okay. To be honest, I just feel really grateful. Like, we were in a card stacked with women just as talented as each other, and, you know, created new dreams tonight. I think, you know, I truly believe that what's going to make women's boxing grow is to get more people into it, start at the grassroots, and we got to create dreams for that. We got to create dreams for little girls who want to come up and be just like us, right? So I'm just very grateful and just really happy to be here.
You also asked how it felt when we walked into the arena today. Honestly, the energy walking out just really hit me. It was so amazing to see so many women coming to support women. And I've said that from such a long time ago. The only way women's boxing grows is if other women come out and support us. And they did today. Every woman in the crowd was cheering, and it was just such a phenomenal movement to be a part of.
I think the ladies said it very well in terms of, you know, women coming out to support women. But when I was out there and, you know, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano were walking out, that stadium was absolutely electric, and I had goosebumps, and it was like, wow, this is truly happening. And to see that moment and to experience that feeling, it's special.
Congratulations, ladies, to all of you. Gianna LaBeouf, Best Women's Boxing Show, period. For each of you, for the fights that you were able to see, what were your favorite fights on the card, and what made those fights special for you?
I think every fight was special in itself. That's what makes this card so historic. You can't really choose, because you have people like Shadisha who are coming up as the underdogs, surpassing themselves, and you have two legends like Katie and Amanda fighting each other for a third time. And you have Nick's over here who's just became undisputed. It's just like they're so big in itself, and they all deserve to be honored equally.
I think I second that. I know we're taking the chicken way out, but you have to give credit to every woman who stepped into the ring tonight, who showed out, who put in the 10, 12 weeks of hard work, who put everything on the line. You can't fault that. So I think every fight deserves its flowers.
I have to go with the ladies as well. You know, it's absolutely awesome what everyone is doing. Everyone has their own, I guess, agendas and what they obviously want to win the fights. But we all put in the hard works to get here, and it's not easy, but we show up anyway and we get the job done.
Andres Gomez, Cornerman Boxing. My question is for Ramla. Cham, earlier this week you mentioned how there's no straight path towards success and you like taking hard fights. So my question is, what fight would you like next? Would you like to get one back with Mercado, or would you like to go straight for the champion, Ellie Scottney?
I've been out the ring for like 13 months now. And I remember, so I've also changed coach. I was living in LA for 3 years. my father got sick, so I moved back to London. I've got a new coach now. And when I started training with him, he asked me, what is it you want to do? And I just said to him, I just want to take one fight at a time. Because a couple years ago, I was like, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. And it never quite worked out. So I just became a bit superstitious. And now I'm just like, I just want to take whatever fight comes and just take it one by one. I know that's not the answer you want, but honestly, that is what I spoke to John Ryder about when I started training with him.
Dan Yanofsky, The Sporting News. Tam, congratulations on your win, especially in 3-minute rounds. I know that's become a big debate recently with women competing in those many rounds compared to 2. Would you like to compete in more of those in the future? And for the rest of you, what are your thoughts on 2 versus 3-minute rounds? And would you like to also do so?
I mean, I fought 3-minute rounds for like 8 years. Like, we talk about this in the professionals, but we don't talk about this in Olympic style boxing. Like, the gap between men and women has been erased essentially. Like, there's equal value in both, and like, we're doing all right. Like, you know what I mean? There's like Olympic champion as a female, Olympic champion as a male is the same. Like, I'm not saying 3 minutes or 2 minutes or what's best. Look, I'm not a doctor. It's not my expertise. I've done 3 minutes forever for most of my amateur career. I want to keep doing it. And if people want to do it, then so be it. But that's on them.
This is for Ternika. There's been so many great fighters over the year from Australia, and you're the first to become undisputed. Has that set in yet?
It hasn't hit me yet, I don't think. It still sort of feels surreal to even be here and to be in this position.
Gail Falkenthal, NY Fights. And the 3 of you have come to New York from different countries. Have you had a chance since your victories to talk to family, friends, supporters back
Be in
home
this position.
about your wins and the significance of your participation tonight? Gail
I don't know about
Falkenthal,
everyone
NY
else,
Fights.
but,
And the 3 of you have come to New York from different
My
countries.
people,
Have you
my
had a
family,
chance
my
since your
friends who all
victories
came
to
out
talk
here
to family,
don't care
friends,
whether I win or
supporters
lose,
back
like,
home
they're with me
about
till the
your
end.
wins and
So I
the
think they're just happy
significance
for
of your
us that
participation
we
tonight?
made it on this card and we showed up. And
Gail
I don't know about
Falkenthal,
any of that's
NY
what matters,
Fights.
right?
And the 3 of you have come to New York.
Yeah, and we left the ring healthy and safe. Like, we're all right. We get to go home to our families.
All right, thank you guys. Let's give it up for them. Ladies and gentlemen, Ellie Scottney.
Ellie Scottney, everybody. One step closer to undisputed.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
I just want to, Ellie, we've only been working together for a few months, but I just
And
kind
I'll
of want
give
to.
you a headache. You're going to have no hair by the end of it, that's for sure.
I just want to share with everybody, she's quickly become one of my favorite people in the sport.
I'll give you $20 for that, Mike.
But when we signed her to MVP, first of all, I was very excited because we all saw how talented Ellie was. And when we started working on opponents for this card, speaking with her manager, Jake, and Ellie very clearly said, I want to fight Mercado. So that's an interesting fight, right? And you remember what you said?
Remind me, please. I've been punched a little bit.
Some people think she's better than me. So
Yeah. BoxRec did.
BoxRec did. So anyway, the floor is yours, Ellie. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate you.
Questions?
Congratulations, champ, on a big win tonight. A similar question like I had from Rama. You unified some belts, so what would you like to do next? Would you like to go for undisputed or get some title defenses in?
Do you know what? My nan, I always mention her because she was my biggest fan, and we always said complete the collection. So I'm one step away from undisputed, and that's what I want next. And then I'll be moving up to do the same at VIVO for sure.
Thank you.
Ellie, Kevin Garcia, a.k.a. the Puerto Rican KKG. I just wanted to ask you how you feel now. And I'm referencing a few days ago, I was in a media scrum, and you were walking through, and it was quiet. You know, some people maybe were unfamiliar, they didn't have questions. And I saw you were focused on your fight. You're like, whatever. But do you think they know who you are now?
I'd like to think so. I felt like, thanks to Netflix, MVP, they gave me a platform where I can really announce myself, and I felt like I did that tonight. And like I say, this is such a big journey with them, and I feel like this is just the start.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ellie. Rodrigo Terogoico, Bonita Radio, Puerto Rico. I just want to follow up from a question from our colleague over here from the last 3 competitors. What is your position about the 12 3-minute rounds or 10 3-minute rounds?
Hey, listen, 11-0, and I ain't got a stoppage, so I think I'd get a stoppage over 3 minutes, and my brother would be a lot richer. He's lost a fortune on betting on it, so yeah, if we had 3 minutes, I'd get a stoppage. That's my excuse.
Congratulations. What were the biggest takeaways that you had from your opponent, from the fight? It was an amazing fight, and every single fight was amazing on this card. But what was your biggest takeaways, and what did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about your opponent, and what are you going to bring into the next fight?
I'll be honest with you, it's been a hard camp, so I felt like this camp showed me more who I am than anything else. And you know, I went in that ring and I felt like I held a lot in, and it was let out tonight. So it just showed me that I'm number 1 in the division. I believed that before, but I feel like this has cemented it, and it's just the start.
And one last question. How soon do you want to prove that you're number 1 in the division, and how soon do you want to grab even more belts?
How soon? Sorry?
How soon do you want to get back in the ring?
As soon as probably my face is a little bit more time. That's always the case with me. But yeah, as soon as, definitely by the end of the year, I want to enjoy my Christmas this year.
Congratulations.
Back to Catford, Mike, right?
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
Hi, Lee. I've already offended you with my Premier League socks, so I apologise.
I'd go sockless if I was you. Brighton who?
You seem very family-orientated and very humble. And if you're okay to talk about it, you mentioned in the ring about your friend. And I just wondered, as difficult as that is, how did you get through that, and how has that motivated you to get where you are today?
It was very difficult, but, you know, Georgia was a soul of the earth. Like, if you ever met her, or even if you heard her story, you'd realise what she was. And, you know, we made a promise just before she passed. It was a blessing to see her get married, and, you know, she battled cancer like it was nothing. And, yeah, I just felt like having her dad ring walk with me tonight was something that I'll live forever, and I felt her in there. So, yeah, tonight was so much bigger than me. It was all for her, and I just, yeah, I felt like she was watching on me, and that will be the biggest takeaway from tonight.
All right, thank you, Ellie. Ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed champion, Alicia Baumgartner.
I first want to say I am so thankful to be here, a part of a historic event. I'm so thankful that MVP has taken the time, literally, and given the women the opportunity to showcase their skills, and just be under the lights tonight was an awesome experience.
Elisa, Andreas Hale, ESPN. You haven't been active as you wanted to be the past couple of years. How good did it feel to get back in the ring? And was there any ring rust at all in the early rounds?
Yeah, I was happy to be back in there. You guys have to understand it's been 2 years since I've done a 10-round fight. So just to be back in there to get those rounds meant everything to me. So I was just enjoying every round that I could when I was in there.
I'm curious, did you keep a close eye on the main event? And are you interested in fighting either of those women, or is it really important for you to defend your undisputed titles?
Yes, we have many options. Definitely watch the fight. Definitely would love the challenge with either fighter.
You gave your performance a B+. Why didn't you give it an A, and what did you think you could have done better tonight?
It's a B+ because I know what I'm capable of. I know the skill set that I have. I know the fighter that I am. I know who I'm becoming. And each fight you have to take for what it is. And I just go back to the drawing board and see exactly what I have to work on as an athlete. And I'm excited for that because it only gets better.
Andres Gomez, cornerman, boxing champ. Congratulations on the great fight tonight, great title defense. Earlier this week, we mentioned how this could come down to a battle of the jabs, but you also showed a lot of grit out there tonight. What do you think was the difference maker in this fight tonight?
It was the grit. It was to bite down. Derek said, go forward. I knew that I couldn't get my jab off the way I typically do to find that range, and so we just kept the fight to go forward and just, dig deep.
I would just add you showed a lot of wrinkles. You boxed, you pressed, it was a good performance, fun fight.
Fun fight, yes.
Alicia Baumgartner, CPS Boxing Ring, Christian. Congratulations on your great performance tonight. What's your thoughts when you hear that you have a lot of fans all around the world, but especially in Mexico? A lot of women in boxing admire you, your style and everything. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, my thoughts are I'm so happy and thankful that, people really take advantage of being a supporter. Like, that takes everything, and I really do enjoy that because that's what uplifts me as a fighter. And, mentally we go through so much stuff, and when it comes to that fight night, that one night, it's the fans that keep us going. It's the cheers that keeps us, keeps the energy high. So I'm so thankful for them.
Hi, Ricardo Torres from NBC Telemundo. Congratulations on your win tonight. Can you give me your thoughts on the main event, maybe a little in deep? What did you see? What do you like? What you didn't like at all?
Yeah, I thought the main event was perfect. I think we all were, a lot of fans were probably expecting a fight like the second fight, but these are two smart fighters. They know how to box, they know how to use the ring, they have experience, and I think they made the fight very clear on who the winner was. And again, they boxed smart. You guys have to understand, I know y'all like a bloodbath, but we got brains at the end of the day that we got to take care of. So they did a great job in their boxing and showing the skill set that women do have.
Giandra LaBeouf, Best Women's Boxing Show, period. Congratulations, Alicia, on a hard-fought victory. You mentioned that she was a smarter fighter than expected. What did she do in there? You mentioned that you didn't get your jab off like you would have liked to. What did she do in there that you thought made her a tougher than expected opponent, aside from the interference with your jab?
Yeah, I just thought she had a smarter game plan in terms of what to engage in and what not to engage in. You know what I mean? So, she definitely kept her distance on not wanting to come in. And just like anything, you make adjustments as you go. We have an idea on what somebody's going to fight like, but we also make the adjustments each round. And so that's what I was doing. Like he was saying, boxing, pressing, and making it ugly.
Gail Falkenthal, NY Fights. Talk a little about, now that you're out the other side, working with Derek.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. When you start with a new trainer, you have to get a feel of everything. You have to understand how that's going to feel in the fight. It's one thing to be in training camp. It's another thing to be in a fight. And I liked what I had in the corner this time. At the end of the day, it is up to Alicia Baumgartner to do what she has to do. I can have you in my corner, but it is up to me to decide what I got to do. So at this stage of my life, I need a team that's going to encourage me in there and let me know what I need to do. But ultimately, it's up to me. So I enjoyed my corner tonight.
Congratulations, Alicia. Rodrigo Otero, Bonita Radio, Puerto Rico. What is next for you? You're undisputed champion. You've been undisputed champion for a while. 135, 140. What's up?
Listen, the sky is the limit, y'all. I'm so excited to be with MVP, and I know they have something exciting for me coming up and for the future. So many options to move up to 35, make these big super fights. These are the challenges that I need. I want to fight an experienced fighter who's going to bring just as much challenge as I am. That's what's going to make me great, and that's what's going to make me be set apart from the rest of the women in boxing.
And expect to see Alicia back in the ring before the end of the year.
Alicia, just up here. Clarissa was ringside tonight. Is that a fight that you feel like MVP can deliver for you?
Listen, that girl's a heavyweight. I'm a super feather, so it gotta make sense. Sir, next question.
Congratulations on the win. From your opinion, what is the next step in the evolution of women in boxing? I mean, this was a big night, and you performed where the lights were shining the brightest, on Netflix in front of millions of people. What do you feel is the next evolution of women in boxing, and you leading the way as a champion?
Yeah, the next evolution is just women knowing who they are each and every day. I think we've seen through the fight week, you know, with the looks of being a beauty, being a beast, being in our femininity, but also being the warriors that we are when it comes to fight night. So it's just like showing two different sides, but also knowing that we have a job to do and to clock in. And Friday night, we got to showcase that, but also come up here and speak with, you know, poise as a champion and as an athlete.
And you joined the ranks of some of the greatest fights that ever happened under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden. What would you say is your favorite fight or your biggest inspiration? Like, man, I want to be like that fighter. Or what fighter was the inspiration for you?
You know, my inspiration just comes from the growth that I want for myself as a woman, as an athlete, and what I'm able to possess in the ring. You know, I've been boxing for 23 years and I'm still growing. I don't even think I've hit my prime yet. So there's just so much more to tap into, and I have a great team who's allowing that to come out.
All right. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank
Let's
you.
give it up for Alicia.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for remaining here for the final, I guess, performance of the night. We just want to thank Netflix, of course, Jake Paul, MVP. It was an incredible show tonight to be a part of. And what we saw, in my opinion, was the greatest female fighter of all time. I said to Katie Taylor in the changing room, just do what you do and make this straightforward. Use your skill, use your speed. Can we just have a nice night tonight? And for once, she listened. And it was a performance when you think that someone might be coming to the end of the career, just rolls back the years with a performance of skill and speed and boxing IQ. And we're so proud of her. And ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed super lightweight champion of the world, Katie Taylor. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, over to the champion and also our trainer, Ross, up here as well for questions.
Hey, Katie, right here in the front, Andreas L, ESPN. Listen, you had 2 wars with Amanda. Were you more surprised that she didn't come at you as much as she did in the first 2 fights? Or was that really a part of your strategy with the check hook circling to keep her at bay?
Yeah, I think the whole game plan tonight was to not let her feet set. I knew I was capable of a performance like that in the other 2 fights as well, but I just got caught up in a bit of a war the other 2 fights. I'm so happy that I was able to stay disciplined tonight and just outbox her. And I made the fight a lot easier for myself. I think just doing that, just keep constantly moving, not letting her feet set, and that was it.
Were you a little concerned when you heard the first scorecard of 95-95? Were you thinking, oh God, here we go again, another controversial decision?
I was a bit concerned, but once I heard the other scorecards, I was hoping obviously my hand was going to be raised, and thank God it was.
Question for both you and Eddie. A while ago, Eddie, you've talked about it. There was an idea of a possible all-women's car that you had pitched to the zone. Wasn't ready for it. Now that you saw what happened tonight, how do you feel about an all-women's car and the energy that it brings?
Look, it was an amazing show and a huge opportunity for female fighters. I know that, I'm not speaking on Katie's behalf, but I know that she's always wanted female boxing to sit alongside men's boxing. It's not two codes. It's not necessarily a night of female boxing or a night of men's boxing. It's just boxing. And I've always said that Katie Taylor is not just the greatest female fighter of all time, but one of the greatest fighters of all time. And that was the barrier that she broke. So we don't compare, you know, the female and the male code. It's just boxing. But what they did tonight was give so many opportunities to so many great female fighters and big paydays and big opportunities, and she won't ever say it, is down to her. You know, there's been many more before her, but she's the one that's commercially broke down the barriers that have given so many opportunities. So amazing all-female. I've never done an all-female card tonight. It was amazing for everybody involved, but you know, for me, it's just not men and female. It's boxing and judged off the quality of the fighter. And this right here is one of the greatest of everybody of all time.
How did you feel about it, Katie?
Oh, well, absolutely unbelievable to be part of a show like this and to be headlining an all-female card. It was an absolute privilege. These are the sort of opportunities that people didn't think was even possible a few years ago. And just seeing the atmosphere, seeing the amount of people that came out to support an event like this, the atmosphere was absolutely electric again tonight. I didn't think it could get even any louder than the first time we were here, but it was an unbelievable atmosphere, amazing event, and I'm very, very proud to be headlining such an important event for women's sport.
Last question. Eddie just said you kind of turned back the clock. You looked fresh. You looked in your zone. I know that people have talked about retirement, but after this kind of performance, are you still thinking about it, or do you feel like still got a lot more left in me?
I don't know. I'm just going to enjoy this victory right now and sit back, reflect, and then I'll make a decision on that soon. But very, very happy with tonight's performance and just the amount of work that we put in over the last few months, myself and Ross. It was a grueling few months of preparation for these kind of fights, and I'm so glad I was able to showcase what I could do tonight.
Katie, over here, congratulations once again. Just a word for the Irish fans, the amount of them here tonight that travel over constantly for your fights. Everyone's supporting you back at home again. And I know you don't want to mention it tonight, but can you give them the reassurance that they'll see you at least one more time, maybe back in Dublin for another fight?
Maybe in Crow Park. That would be unbelievable. Just I said it in the ring earlier on, just these people are spending their hard-earned money to come over and support me. It just means the world. Honestly, I can't believe that this is my life. I'm headlining the show, Madison Square Garden, an all-female card. Looking back on the whole journey, what an amazing life. These are nights that I dreamed of as a kid, and to be sitting here again as a winner, I'm so happy, so grateful.
Hey, Katie, congrats. You kind of shied away from it throughout the week, but did you feel any pressure going into tonight? I'm asking now that it's over, and did you feel kind of like a sense of relief when your hand was raised?
Yeah, I think there's always a bit of pressure going into these fights. It's normal to feel a bit of pressure, but I didn't feel any more pressure than the previous nights. Every single fight I've been involved in over these last few years have been huge fights. They're huge events, and so I wouldn't say I felt any more pressure tonight than I did for the other fights. But there's always a bit of relief after your hand was raised, but also just complete joy as well, and just all the hard work being paid off, all the sacrifices you're making, all. Just it's a grueling sport, so it's obviously such a relief when your hand is raised.
Do you feel like you have anything left to prove?
I wouldn't say I have anything left to prove, but I'm going to sit back and relax, and like I said, I will make a decision on whether I will fight again in the future.
Katie, you sat down with me 2 months ago and you said that you were going to give the best performance of your career. Eddie's already said he turned back the years, and it was a fantastic performance. I just thought, are you happy after that performance? I mean, you put on a great show, won obviously 3-0, like you said now, but after you said that this was going to be the greatest performance, do you feel like you really showed that tonight?
I thought I showed, just a very smart performance, a very clever performance, a performance I knew I was capable of against Amanda. The two fights previous were just ended up as complete wars, and I came out of the ring battered and bruised. And I'm thinking, why am I just standing there fighting with her? I knew I was capable of moving my legs like that. I'm just outboxing her, and I'm just happy I was able to produce that tonight and execute the game plan that Ross has been telling me to do all along. I'm very, very satisfied right now.
And you really did go to war, and it was quite nice at the end that you hugged. You know, it's kind of like that chapter's now over. Are you happy that all of that and kind of the build-up and the controversy, the second one, is now put to bed, and you can just reflect on what's been an absolute masterpiece in sport?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just so grateful for Amanda Serrano. What an amazing champion. And we created history together 3 times. My name will always be embedded with hers forever. I'm very, very happy about that. What we've been able to create over these last few years has been unbelievable. It's amazing to have a rival like that in the sport, and this has brought an event like this tonight, like an all-female card, because of what myself and Amanda have been able to produce over the last few years. So I think both myself and Amanda are just sitting back very, very proud right now.
Yeah, Katie, you kind of alluded to maybe Amanda's strategy this time around, but the first round, the second round, did you feel like there was maybe tentativeness from her part because of how she's fought in the past? Was that a sense at all that you got in the ring?
I think just my movement was causing her a bit of trouble tonight. My footwork was causing her trouble, and she wasn't able to set her feet. So I'm not sure what was going through her mind, but I think I just made the fight a bit easier for myself.
Was there a sense at some point tonight that it felt maybe stylistically more your type of fight than what she, like you had alluded to, kind of put you in the first 2 fights?
Yeah, definitely. I was able to use her. I used the ring a lot better tonight. My feet were very good tonight. I felt fresh in there. I felt sharp in there. I seen that the punches coming. So yeah, I definitely felt like it was my kind of fight. There was my kind of pace as well.
Congratulations, Ricardo Torres from NBC Telemundo. I have a 2-part question. It seemed like Amanda tried to outbox you from the outside. Were you expecting that strategy from her, and did it work on your favor? That's the first part. The second one, now that the trilogy is done, do you feel like in the long run it can become a turning point on professional women boxing?
I think it already has become a turning point, just for what we've seen tonight. But I was. What was the first question?
Strategy. Did it work on your favor? Her strategy? Tried to outbox you from the outside?
Yeah, she couldn't really get close to me tonight, and I think that's due to to what I was doing there as well. I think, she just couldn't get close. Yeah.
Radio Raheem here down in front. Katie, congratulations right here on a 3rd win, an amazing performance. Is this performance more satisfying than the first 2? Because there really isn't any debate this time around. And even though it may not have been the firefight that we expected, it was definitive. Did it feel better this time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody could deny that I won tonight's fight, so it is very, very satisfying. The other previous fights, some people had her winning, some people had me winning, so there was always that debate there. That's why there was a trilogy at the end of the day. It was coming into this trilogy 2-0 against her. But there was a controversy in those decisions, so I feel very, very satisfied right now that it was lights out, and I feel like it was a very, very dominant performance.
You said you made the fight easier on yourself tonight. You did what the coach asked you to do. As fighters get older and more experienced, they get wiser. Is this the kind of performance we can see from you in the future? I mean, everyone expects Katie to just bring the fight to the opponent and stand in the middle and trade. But now at this stage of your career, is this the smarter way to conduct your boxing business?
hope so. That's always the plan, to fight smart, but for some reason, sometimes it ends up in a fight, but my plan is always to box smart. My plan was to box smart the other two previous fights as well, but I'm very, very happy I was able to execute what I was being told to do tonight.
And last one, we saw Cameron tonight. I know you don't know if you want to continue, but is there something in the back of your mind that wants to settle that as well? Make that a definitive win for yourself before you go out of boxing?
Maybe. I think Chantel has to see if she can sell out a 1,000-seat arena first. I don't think she can sell out any stadium at all. So I think I made her more money than she really deserves, to quite honest. But what do you think, Eddie?
I think you earned the right to do whatever you want. You know, I think those fights with Chantel, great. Serrano, great. I think if it was a really tough fight tonight, then maybe we'd be sitting here and saying, well, is that the end of the road? But, you know, I feel like Katie could do another 20 or 30 rounds. So she'll decide if she's going to fight again. For me, I think she's got at least 11 or 12 left, to be honest with you.
Thank you, and congratulations again.
I think,
Congratulations, Katie.
one more, guys, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yannick Canales from El Vocero. Two judges saw the flight clearly in your favor, while one scored as a draw. Were you surprised by the judges' scoring?
I was definitely surprised to hear the 95-95 scorecard, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. My hand was raised, and I don't care. But yeah, very, very happy that my hand was raised.
All right, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
For your support. Well done, Katie Taylor.
Done and dusted. That's it. Where's the other girl? What's the other girl? Serrano. She's like so, what's her name? Katie? Katie. Talking like this, the mic's over here.
I know, but
And
you
she's
did
so
it all, bro.
spoken.
You had it solid. You had it solid.
Appreciate that.
I didn't have to run up there and go like that. No, I heard.
The lights in your CTs, right?
No.
They're yours. They have lights.
House lights.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Done, yeah.